The next on the list is essentially the direct effects of the food that you eat and your body and mind. Now, it's important to know that if you had two cars and one was an F1 car and one was a regular car, the fuel that you use for your F1 car is going to be a lot different than the fuel that you use for your regular car. So similarly, think of the times when you've been on holidays and you've been binge eating and even drinking, and I'm sure you've had a lot of fun. But the next day, because you don't really have to perform and you're relaxed, you're actually feeling a lot lethargic. You're feeling quite restful, but actually quite lazy and sometimes even quite foggy. The reason you feel that way is because of the fuel that you're actually putting into your system. And for that same reason, I would say that the challenge that most people have is that because we're so busy, and that includes myself, food often takes almost like a secondary or even the third wheel when it comes to getting through your day. And I would say that because of this, the choices that we make during the day and also the perception we have when we eat these foods is not quite there. And what I mean by that is that we are not perceptive to the changes happening in our bodies. Now, over the last probably 8 to 5 years, I've become a lot more perceptive about the food that I eat and how I feel, to the point that it's actually become a lot more sensitive for me to feel that every time I eat something that doesn't go well with me, I either feel it in my head or I feel it in my tummy. And so I basically think that for most people, forget about the food that you're eating, but you need to be very perceptive on what happens with the food that you eat. So rather than become super healthy and start focusing on getting the most highly nourishing food, I would then move on to actually focus on how do you feel based on the food that you eat.